We're really excited tonight to be presenting to physiotherapists from around the area on common problems that happen in people who have shoulder injuries relating to sport.
We've got a great selection of speakers tonight talking all about shoulder injuries in sport. First up we've got Tom Stallard, who is an ex-Olympic GB rower. He now works for Formula One as a race engineer, so he's had experience as both elite athlete but also managing a team of elite athletes.
So at this point, this is the Melbourne Grand Prix. At this point he's doing about 280 kilometres an hour. That's coolant, not petrol, spilling out of the radiator. In this case, he actually broke a rib. You define yourself as a sportsman, as an athlete, and when that gets taken away, you're actually left very much questioning who you are. So I guess what I would say is to be understanding and to work with them to develop a plan that's going to get them back to full fitness.
Tendinopathy, cuff tendinopathy, it's a common problem. I'm sure we see it an awful lot.
Think about the continuum of that tendinopathy. Think about which stage you're treating. What you're doing with the load management is absolutely key. What I do is just add on bits for the more tricky ones. Think about your reactive tendons and also think about your dual pathologies that you're treating.
Before we start, I think it's really important that we have a clear understanding about the difference between laxity and instability. You can think of laxity as a clinical sign. It's how sloppy or movable a joint is. So instability is the symptom. That's what people are coming to talk to you about.
So typically, it's a fall onto the shoulder is the main mechanism that causes an ACJ injury. Now, there are a lot of sports where you can fall over. It's very common in pro rugby with a 32% incidence, but other sports like wrestling, cycling and ice hockey, so anything contact really has a high risk of sustaining this injury.
Clavicle fractures have always been treated non-operatively, forever. Forever people were put in a sling, told to wait until it got better, then you come out of the sling. But demands are changing and people don't really like the idea of being in a sling for 6 weeks. And so with the advent of new surgical implants and perhaps better surgical technique, there now is the option to do an operation. I'm a keen advocate of fixing these clavicle fractures for anyone who wants to get back to enjoy their life as quickly as possible. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming.
I've been very interested recently in essentially learning more about the shoulder joints, how everything moves, and especially in the Western society where we sit down too much, we end up with a kind of posterior rotated shoulder joints, and that gives us bad back, low back pain.
I think that from Mr. Brownlow's the shoulder instability and versus laxity, that is the bit got me quite interested.
Well, we've got students who are interested in doing medicine, physiotherapy, so we brought them here so they could listen to the various talkers and be inspired by them and perhaps for the careers that they want to do afterwards.
All the speakers were fantastic, very knowledgeable, took a lot of notes, and so I think because it was near to me as well and it was free as well, so I didn't have to come out of pocket, it was really good, yeah.
If you haven't had a chance to come along and you have a patient with you who you think would benefit from being seen here at Circle, please give us a call or get on to contact us through the website. And best of all, why not come along with your patient so that we can all treat the patient together?